Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you all. Happy Monday. How are you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Finals week? Not
bad.
finals week, but I mean like final week and finals week, right? That week.
Yeah. That's very, very ironic in a very dark way because my cat died on Thursday. So yeah, I spent Friday digging a hole in the backyard and Saturday looping around the house because I forgot to stretch.
Oh, well,
3
yeah.
foot by 2 foot by 3 foot hole in the ground.
So sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough.
It's so, like I haven't gotten a lot of homework done during the, and it's coming back to bite me and yeah, still doing things.
Well, best wishes as you pick up the pieces and
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
move forward.
honestly, once the week is done and my school is over for the holidays, I feel like it's gonna get a lot better.
Okay. Oh, hang on for 2 more weeks, okay?
One more.
Yeah.
Don't elongate this on me.
We don't have to.
It is next week.
Yeah.
Next week is finals.
So
Yeah.
when is our
So that's
final?
I picked up a copy of the exam schedule, and it says here, if your class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and starts at 1:30, the final is going to be Wednesday from 1:30 to 3:15.
Okay.
So-
Earlier.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, from 1:30 to 3:15. So the way I'm planning it now as we speak is that it is going to be a computer exam, open book. You're welcome. Bring this with you. A bunch of multiple choice questions and a couple of short answer questions. Everything, including Burke. No, I'm just this. Just Siegel and Bryson. It's not a comprehensive exam, just Siegel and Bryson, the text I'm holding up for you now. That's all I'm testing you on. Yes, ma'am. I want you to bring your laptop on Wednesday for the exam. On Wednesday
So on
at
the
1:30.
it says it opens up on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
That's why I got
okay.
confused.
Thanks for letting me know. I need to change it because I did that back in July, I think.
Gotcha.
So I scheduled a meeting on Thanksgiving. I didn't know, and everybody just started emailing me. I won't be there, bro. Don't know about you. And I was like, oops, I didn't realize. So it's that I made a mistake. So Wednesday, what is the date on Wednesday? 15?
Yeah.
Wednesday, 15th at 1:30 p.m. Open book. Okay. Anything else I need to let you know about your learning check? Yes, ma'am.
At one point, I thought you said it was just going to be on chapters 1 through 5. Is it just the whole text?
It's the whole text. Yeah. I will double check. I can double check, but I think so. I don't know why I wouldn't test you on the whole book. Yeah, I suspect it's the whole book. Yeah. Plan for the whole book, and you're bringing the book anyway, so I think you'll be fine. Ask me any more questions you want. Answer to number 1. I would maybe tell you if I knew what number 1 was. I don't. So yeah, what other questions do you have? Wednesday, bring your laptop for the final. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, following Wednesday. Yeah, 1:30, we'll meet here. That's the only announcement I have for you. If you're still looking to pick up bonus points, if you did not watch the APA style writing video, go ahead and do that and I'll give you 5 points. Send me an email, let me know you've done it so that I don't forget. So in the next couple of days, I'm going to be grading. I have a bunch of grading I gotta do. So I'll work as quick as I can. Your projects, they're out of the way. How does that feel, you guys? Feels good, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. For my 3 classes, this class is the one I picked for you to do your projects earlier. I wanted you to have a little less stress. So now it's downhill from here. The plan is to walk you through the last chapter of the book today. And then on Wednesday, we will say goodbye to each other. If everybody here drinks coffee, I don't mind grabbing some Starbucks and we can say goodbye. If anyone will not be done with the course eval, it's now available. It's an online computer thing. It will take you 5 minutes. Anonymous, I don't see it. It goes to Karen and Sunshine. Then it goes to the division. And they give me any feedback that comes through that medium. But the course eval is now available. So if you can do it as soon as possible, that'd be great. So Wednesday, basically, I will tell you what I told you about this, have some coffee, and say goodbye. That's the plan for Wednesday. So Wednesday could be a short meeting, but it's really just to sit, chat, connect, find out what your Christmas plans are. And yeah, just connect. So that's what we will do Wednesday. Are there any questions about what we are doing and what comes next? Yes, ma'am? Yes. Bring your laptop and bring your book.
No, not Wednesday next
Oh.
week. This Wednesday.
Yeah. It's our final class, and I think I built in attendance and participation for Wednesday. Yeah. If there are folks who don't drink coffee, let me know what else I can bring. In my house, we have sweet kombucha. I can bring some if you're interested. You may or may not like it. I won't take offense if you don't. Some people don't like kombucha, and that's okay. But if you don't drink coffee, is the point. Let me know what I can bring for you. Beer and wine, sorry, bro. I like this job. I want to keep it, okay? So bringing you liquor is the first way out of this job. So let me know if I can bring you anything else. But I don't mind picking up a gallon of coffee. Okay, let me know if there are any questions. Welcome, folks who have just joined us. Our final is on this day. Bring your laptop and bring your Seago text. Next Wednesday, we will say goodbye to each other. I'll bring coffee. This Wednesday, I'll bring you coffee and we'll say goodbye to each other. The course eval link is now available. It will take you 5 minutes to do the course eval. Try and do it before Wednesday. Yeah, before this Wednesday. And the plan today is to walk you through chapter 6, and that's it. Okay, I have a few copies of the student version, if anyone wants a copy. That's the last one. It's online, so if you have your device on you, you can download it. So one of my colleagues, the person who trains the skills trainers, all of us, myself included. This lady trains me too. She trains folks at New Avenues, our model called collaborative problem solving. That's our model. It's a CBT approach. It encompasses a lot of talk therapy, which is all part of cognitive behavioral therapy. So CPS, collaborative problem solving, it's actually a certification. The certification tier 1, everyone in our program goes through that training, about $350 for 3 days worth of training. And then you go into the field and you use the training, how to work with kids to solve problems and to think and exercise their brains so that they are whole brain teens. So the lady, so there's tier 1, everybody takes that. Leaders all take tier 2. You need to have applied tier 1 for at least 6 months. And then the leaders go and take tier 2. And then the next level up is a certification. So this lady I'm about to talk about has done this. She's now certified. The next level after that, the folks who do all the training are called certified trainers. So this lady is on her way to becoming certified in this model CPS. It's used all over the country. And I think there are other nations that also use this approach of collaborative problem solving in their work. So they drove past, so this lady drove past Warner Pacific. She didn't know where we were. She thought we were in Longview, Washington. We teach some classes in Longview, Washington through our partnership with Lower Columbia College. So her son is 15 or 16 getting ready to go to college. So she said, oh, this is where courage works. She's never been to my office over here, and we always meet over there. And so I might be having conversations with this young man about school, because one wants to come to college, the other does not. So, I mean, there's trade school and those trade folks will make a lot of money, right? But you have to be very thoughtful and very methodical in your approach. So anyway, we were talking about all of those things. So she asked mom, so why does courage work at New Avenues if he teaches here? So we have a management meeting on Monday. So she was saying this in passing, but I thought to myself, she's probably indirectly asking me that. So we were talking about it, and I was telling her about my ambitions to publish, write a journals about our work. I want to publish some of that work. So I have told other leaders this, but I had never had this conversation with them. So it was very enlightening. And I said to her, you and I might co-author something together, because she is the person who teaches and supervises our implementation of collaborative problem solving. A lot of what we do in collaborative problem solving has all of this in it. Makes sense? That's the so what of this little story I'm telling you. A lot of this is in that collaborative problem solving. And I use a lot of these approaches very intently when I'm working with the kids or when I'm coaching the skills trainers to apply our collaborative problem solving model. So finally, those of you who want to take this further, there are a couple of steps. Continue reading Daniel Siegel's work, because he is published extensively, scientifically through journal articles. Our masters in human services we use some of Siegel's texts for the masters in human services courses. And they are fairly recent texts. I know the one text we use is a 2018, the other is a 2016. In the adolescent development class that some of you are taking with me, we use his Brainstorm book. That's a 2013 text. So if you want to take all this further, you can continue reading Siegel's work. Those of you who are going to graduate school, if it is going to be human development related, you will continue to read Siegel. So get ahead and start reading more of this. You can consider taking this training that I'm talking about called collaborative problem solving. And you can also consider taking the parenting class, HD311, if you have not already taken that class. We expand more on working with kiddos. It's not only for parents, the word parenting is in there, but a lot of job functions entail parenting. Teaching is a parenting function. Mentoring is a parenting function. Working with a lot of those nonprofits is a parenting function. Working for the county, working for the city, anything to do with families, that's a parenting function. So those are all ways that you can take all of this further. And I hope that is helpful for you. All right, okay, enough talking. Let's read a little bit and then we'll process a short worksheet on chapter 6. I hope you enjoyed chapter 6. I didn't hear you asking me a bunch of questions around any of this stuff. So if any of your questions are bubbling, please feel free to ask me, okay? So let's read a little bit, starting from page 118, I think. No, 119. Chapter 6, the me-we connection, integrating self and other. Ron and Sandy were fed up. Their 7-year-old Colin was a good kid. He didn't cause trouble at school. His friends and their parents liked him, and he generally did what he was supposed to do. But he was, in his parents' words, totally and incurably selfish. He always grabbed the last slice of pizza, even if he still had some on his plate. He begged for a puppy, then showed no interest in even playing with it, much less using the pooper scooper. Even after growing out of his toys, he still refused to let his young brother play with them.
Ron and Sandy knew that a certain amount of egocentrism in children is normal, and they didn't want to change Colin's personality. They wanted to love him for who he was. But at times it drove him crazy that he thought that he often seemed incapable of thinking about other people. When it came to relational skills like empathy, kindness, and consideration, Colin just seemed to be the missing development of that circuit. The breaking point came one day after school when Colin disappeared into the bedroom he shared with his 5-year-old brother Logan. Ron was in the kitchen when he heard yelling from the boys' room. He went to investigate and discovered a distraught Logan, furious with his big brother and crying over a pile of artwork and trophies. Colin decided to redecorate the room. He had taken down all of Logan's watercolor paintings and marker drawings hanging on the walls and replaced them with his own posters and baseball cards, which he taped in rows across the white wall. In addition, he had removed Logan's 2 soccer trophies from the shelf and set up his own bottles and dolls in their place. Colin had piled all of Logan's belongings into a corner of the room. He explained it so they wouldn't be in the way.
When Sandy got home, she and Ron talked about the frustration with her older son. They sincerely believed that there was no malice in Colin's actions. In fact, that was almost a problem. Never even considered Logan's feelings and but he decorated the room for the Sandys and Collins with the last night of pizza. He just bonkers. This issue is a common one. We want instead of meaningful relationship. Sometimes we feel that because they're not so kind or compassionate or grateful or generous as we want them to be, they will never be. Of course we do. We can't expect a 7-year-old to be as if we were enlightened. Sure, we want our kids to become men and women who are strong and forgiving and respectful, but that's a bit much to expect of someone who's just recently learned to time. However, while it's important to trust the process and know that much of what we want for our kids will emerge only over time, we get to prepare them and steer them towards becoming children, and ultimately adults who are more capable of participating in relationships and considering growth. Some people simply have more moral connections and circuitry charge of being relationships. Just like kids have trouble learning, practicing those connections in their brains, children who have difficulty relating to others need to have those connections encouraged and cultivated. And just as a learning disability is a sign of a mental challenge, so is the inability to feel someone else's pain. It's a developmental issue, not necessarily a character problem. Even children who don't seem predisposed to connection and compassion to learn what it means to be in a relationship and to fulfill the responsibilities that come with that.
That's what this chapter is about. Most of the information we provided in earlier chapters focuses on how to help develop the child's whole brain in order to develop a strong and resilient sense of being. But like Ron and Sandy, we know that kids need just as much help understanding what it means to become part of a we so that they can be integrated with others. In fact, our ever-changing modern society, learning to move from me to we may be essential for how our children will be able to adapt in our future world.
Helping children become participating members while not using their individual needs is a tall order for everyone. But happiness and fulfillment results from being connected to others while still maintaining a unique identity. That's also essence of mindset, which you'll remember it's all about seeing your own mind as well as the mind of another. It's about developing fulfilling relationships while maintaining a healthy sense of self.
In the previous chapter, we discussed the first aspect of mindsight, seeing and understanding with our mind. We talked about helping kids become aware of and integrate the many different parts of themselves via the wheel of awareness. The key concept in this aspect of mindsight is personal insight. Now we want to turn our attention to the second aspect of mindsight, developing the ability to see and connect with the minds of others. This connection depends on empathy, on recognizing the feelings, desires, and perspectives of another. Ron and Sandy's son seemed to need empathy skills. In addition to developing and integrating his whole brain and the different parts of himself, he needed to be given lots of practice at seeing things from other people's perspectives, seeing other people's minds. He needed to develop this second aspect of mindsight. Insight plus empathy equals mindsight. Insight and empathy. If we can encourage these attributes in our kids, we will give them the gift of mindsight, offering them awareness about themselves and connection with those around them. But how do we do that? How do we encourage our kids to connect with family, friends, and the world while cultivating and maintaining their own individual sense of self? How do we help them learn to share, to get along with siblings, to negotiate playing ground politics, to communicate well and consider others' feelings? The answers to all these questions emerge from the me-we connection, which we can understand by first looking at how the brain participates in the creation of relationships. Hope that was good stimulation for what I hope you've already read. If we look at our worksheet, the me-we connection integrating self and other. Common issue for parents is we want our kids to be caring and considerate so they can enjoy meaningful relationships. Sometimes we fear that because they are not as kind or compassionate or grateful or generous as we want them to be, or that they never will be. Of course, we cannot expect a 7-year-old to behave as if they were an enlightened adult. What I wanted you to have is that information in red. Sure, we want our kids to become men and women who are strong, forgiving, respectful, and loving. But that is a bit much to expect of someone who has just recently learned to tie their shoes. You don't have to copy it verbatim, but I think what this is simply talking at is the need to be gracious towards kids because they don't have a lot of skills. They don't have a lot of capacity to learn complex skills. And so if you read that section again, we read it on page 120, it's talking about the need to learn that, take small steps towards moving from me to we. That information is on that second paragraph on page 120. Let's go to the next point. Kids who have difficulty relating to others need to have those connections encouraged and cultivated. The key concept in this aspect of mindsight is called personal insight. My daughter said to me, I don't know what she was talking to me about. And she said, but you're an adult. And I said, yeah, I'm 30 some years old. They don't know my real age. It will become public knowledge. Not ashamed of my age, but just tell them it's 30 something. And I try to explain and impress to them that, hey, be patient. You have lots and lots of time to learn all kinds of things. And so a big part of that is learning a lot about themselves and using that as a springboard to connect well with others. It starts with personal mindset. Next point. Kids need to be given lots of practice at seeing things from other people's perspectives, seeing other people's minds. Children need to develop this second aspect of mindset. Now, certain theorists talked about the role of significant others in their lives and talked about the theory of mind or metacognition. We studied that in Burke, and that is thinking about thinking. Thinking about all the things you need to think about. Imagining what someone else is thinking. So a common phrase in my house, or folks who know a thing or two about raising kids and applying some of this knowledge is, common phrase is, how would someone else feel about that? We were playing Spotted. I don't know if you know a game called Spotted. It's a fun game. That's all you need to know. It's a really, really fun game, family friendly. And we are in Spotted mode in my house. And so someone won and they were doing the happy dance and singing and rubbing it in that they won. And so we said, hey, stop. You are not being a gracious winner. You're making us feel lousy and feel bad. How would you feel if someone else did this to you? All of these are practices to see things from other people's perspectives. If you were playing a game and someone just kept doing what you're doing, I don't know if you would like it. What are your thoughts about that? Force them to think about it. Don't just state that, hey, no one likes a braggadocious, cocky winner. No one likes it. I can say that, a parent can say that. Or you can say, how would you feel if someone was doing what you were doing after a game? I don't know if you would like it very much. All right. I remind you of a concept we looked at in chapter 2 of Burke when I bring up the issue of mirror neurons. These are the reflectors in the mind. Researchers discovered the monkey's brain was influenced and became just as active by watching the actions of another. If the child experiences relationships full of nurturing warmth, connection, and protection, then that will become the model of future relationships with friends, with other members of various communities, and eventually with romantic partners and their own children. So having safe, loving adults who apply positive and authoritative parenting and are aware of the other kinds of parenting can serve as a model for future relationships. So what I want you to be mindful of, to be cognizant of in all of these conversations and in reading this book is being able to make the connections with Burke, being able to make the connections to theory. And so Siegel and Bryston challenge us to help children be more receptive to joining with others. Somewhere in there, beyond what we read, talks about two very important words, no and yes. One is a good word. One is not a good word. So yesterday, someone was working with a kiddo. This kiddo reminds me of someone we know at my house and like a lot. And my spouse said to me, oh, be careful, Courage. Sounds like you're a little overinvested. I was very defensive, but she's probably right. I'm probably a little overinvested in this kid. And that's a very important thing to process, be mindful of when doing direct service with your populations, whether it's adults or kiddos. Know when you are a little over-involved, over-invested, and make adjustments. So this kid is a really good kid. This kid is just nice. And this kid has a 16th birthday coming up. It's a big birthday, but they are in care. First time this kid is in care. They're having a horrible experience about it. And so the kiddo said, I feel horrible that I'm going to be stuck here for my 16th. And I said to the kid, so what would you like? What would be a nice birthday? And the kiddo said, I would love to go and spend time with my former foster parents. They were kind to me. I have a good relationship with them. And I would love to go spend time with them, but they are obviously going to say no. Then I said to the kid, have you asked somebody about that? And the kid said no. So I told this kid, I'm unpacking this point. I'm going somewhere. Hang with me for a minute. Okay? So I said to this kid, asking is free. That's my philosophy. Always ask. Ask for the most ridiculous thing. It's free of charge. And I told this kid, whenever I travel, whenever I fly, I have never flown first class or business. I've never. I'm not a frequent flyer. I've flown some. Every year I go to a conference. I've flown some. If I go to Zimbabwe, it's 3 days and 3 to 4 flights a pop, right? I've flown a little bit. I've never flown first class or business. I want to, but those tickets can be times 2. Now, if you're flying to Zimbabwe at 2,000 a pop, business can be 4, 5, 6,000. One ticket. So I haven't had the grace to do that just yet. So one day, because of who I am, I went to the desk and I said, hey, I've checked in, but you know, I've never flown first class or business. And so please give me a free upgrade. If one opens up, please, you would make my day. I ask that all the time. And there are times the person looks at me like their brain is gonna explode. Like, are you kidding me? You know, what kind of question is that? Like, bro, what? You know, but there's a time when I said that to the person at the counter, and they said to me, I'll see what I can do. Nothing has come out of it. This one time, I went to the counter and I said to her, I'm giving you permission. And this person was typing away, and they stopped and they looked at me and I said, yeah, I want to give you permission today. Give me a free upgrade. If you can, please, never flown first class or business. Please give me a free upgrade if there's an opening. This person laughed so hard. She said, you are very bold. And she said, you know what? If there's an opening, I promise you this, I am giving it to you. You. And unfortunately, there was a waiting list that day. So I didn't get it, but I was gonna get it that day. So I told her the story. And I said to her, always ask, because you never know. And it's free. Asking is free. You don't get charged nothing for it. So ask to go spend time with your foster family. Then she responded and she said to me, I am too afraid of the word no. It's a terrible word. And I said to this kiddo, you are right. No one likes to hear the word no. A lot of the escalations we have in the program with some of those kiddos can emanate from the word no. I want this. Well, no. There are times kids ask for things that are just, dude, gave you a finger, now you want the whole leg. Come on now. No, that's unreasonable. It's a safety concern. It's a health concern, whatever. No, we have kids who are fixated on piercing themselves right now. So they are busy. Ears, noses, lips, belly buttons. I probably should stop there. What do you think? Yeah, okay. Quit while I'm ahead. Infections is the big problem. So we have a kid now who is fixated on piercing their belly button, and they are horribly infected in that area, and they don't want to go to urgent care. They actually now need to go to urgent care. And this kiddo won't go. And they keep trying to pierce it and doing stuff to it. And so, no. Hey, can I have my other earrings that are in my personal bin that I don't have access to? No. We know what you're going to do with all that stuff. So no. And it's a health concern and a safety concern. And so sometimes kiddos have not learned or been cared for by folks who know even a quarter of this. And so they have no way of thinking about consequences, appropriateness, how to manage frustration, how to manage the word no. They can flip their lids as a result of that. No prepares for flight, fright, and freeze responses. Yes is a good word, but it's not always that you get a yes, right? That wouldn't be good training if we said yes to everything. So one of the things I do is coach the skills trainers on how to say no with more empathy, with more kindness, in a less activating way. So instead of saying no is, hey, at this time, that wouldn't be possible. You know, that's different to no, you know?
You're still hoping there that, you know.
Yeah, at this time. Or in a different world, that would be possible without saying that, you know, but that can be snappy, right?
Right.
But there are still ways of denying a request. Your request is denied without saying it in a third way like that. So I love spending time on that and coaching folks on how to work with kids to let them down in a kind way. For me, it's a kindness issue. But there are times when it has to be a flat no. We are not going to do that at this time. Still, you can soft land it. You can. It's the same thing with kiddos from 0 to 7. You can still let them down gently. All right, let's go to the next page. I was going to tell you something else. What was it? I'll tell you another story from this weekend, I think. Can't think of it. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. Wait until this reactive state passes. Then when a child is more receptive, talk to her about how you would like to see her respond next time she's offended. I'm basing off of notes in the text, and I didn't put a page number there, so I don't know where that is. The mirror neuron stuff comes next on page 123. I don't remember what page that stuff is. But basically waiting when a child has been told no or whatever, and they flip their lid, they're really upset and escalated. Don't try and fix it there and then. Remember Joshua who wanted to watch telly and the kid was going off? You remember that video we watched? You're not gonna talk any sense to a kid whose lid has flipped, whose mind has become disjoined in that way. You have to wait until their reactive state has passed. So the collaborative problem solving method we use at the nonprofit, when if a kid has a blowout, an escalation, we do what is called a plan B conversation, where we help the kiddo process and think about what happened. But you never ever try and do that when you or the kiddo is still upset and frustrated. So you wait until they are more receptive to talk, and then you can plan ahead in terms of, hey, how could you have responded to that? How could you have done that differently? And it's also a time for the adult to learn too, hey, how could I have shown up differently for you? What could I have said to make this thing much better? Oftentimes the kids will have really interesting responses, and we have to take that into consideration. Wait for de-escalation. You might offer a hug in the meantime. So that depends. When working with my kids, one of my kids is a puppy. He works for bacon and hugs. The other is a cat, very independent, and do not touch me. Love, touch is not one of your love languages. Yesterday, we had a wonderful conversation about love languages. She said, oh, the huggy stuff is from Mufaro. I'm not like that. I know. But it was interesting to have the conversation. There are times she's saying that there are times when she wants a hug, but I have learned to know that there are more often times than not, that's not her love language. She likes quality time. That's her number one. Number two is gifts and letters. So I always try and remind myself, if I want to do something sweet for her, write her a note. She likes that. So, and you need to know when and how to use, the repairing of whatever happened in the reactive state. So some kids, basically what I'm saying is the whole hug stuff doesn't work for them. But for a lot of kids, that touch, that closeness with others is very, very soothing. At our program, we are a no-touch program. So we are not allowed to hug those kids. And I definitely agree with that. But we have had kids who blow out so that we can give them, we can use the certified physical interventions where we might have some contact with them. We have had kids who said, all I want is the hug. So they would act out so that they get put into a hold and get that connection that they were so craving for. So we needed to workshop that kid and agreed that for that one kid at that time, well, it was always absolutely necessary to put them in the hold and the kiddo would calm down. But we then needed to have a plan B conversation to say, hey, we are a no-touch program, so that's not gonna work. How else can this need be met? So don't solve the problem. Don't yank the nail out of the kiddo's forehead. I showed you that video, right? What was my other? So I too can confuse material sometimes. You're not the only one. I showed yeah, it's a video. So it's definitely not this class, it's my other class. Okay, if there's time in this class, was it this class or it was other class? Okay, all right. If I can show you that video, I wanna show it to you. It will make sense. And it's none, no one is injured, no one is hurt in the video. But there is a nail in someone's head, okay? Yeah. In Siegel's other text, when talking about adolescence, he talks about the need for active listening on the part of the adult. Okay, let's keep moving for the sake of time and talk to you about this for hours and hours. What you can do, helping your child integrate self and other, whole brain strategy number 11, increase the family fun factor, making point to enjoy each other, page 131. When you and your kids work together on a gardening or construction project, The experience strengthens the bonds between you and teaches your kids that relationships are affirming. So I ask you a question: what can parents do to spend quality time together? Okay, so this is my junction to stop talking for a few minutes and have you guys talk to each other for a little bit. Maybe those three, those four, you three and you three. Well, you three and you three. Come up with a list of things that parents can do with kiddos to increase that family fun factor that Siegel is talking at on page 131 thereabouts. Take a few minutes and come up with the list. And I want to see who comes up with the most fun list. How does that sound? Mm-hmm.
This is my parents.
The most fun list, but like when I was a kid, like I had fun being in.
I totally got this. My mom did like this with me and my brother for a year. It was so awesome. She taught us about like ancient Sumeria and like ancient Greek and stuff, right? So we built a cigarette out of a cardboard that was actually a cat house. And so it was like, it was super cool. And then she kind of like wrapped around with toilet paper. So she was the mummy. You know, we did like this timeline on the hallway, in the hallway, right? And then she did another project like where we went about the Oregon Trail. And we made reference in traps and stuff like that. We got all dressed up and we went out to the Oregon Trail. And we like did like this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sand side these like action things. Yeah. You know, it's one thing if like your kids like this one TV show. Okay, maybe you can watch like one or two episodes of it. And then go do something.
Yeah.
Go run errands, but make it fun.
Right. Yeah.
Well, not like something different, but it was more like something similar.
They like make me too, like you play like right. Teach them about shopping while at the grocery store. Like, you know, like, is this 20%, is this better than this? Or something that's prices for each of them? What are the numbers? You know, right.
Which you like more.
Right.
You know, I'd say, I guess, like, when you're going to the grocery shop and say, hey, show me where the carrots are.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. That's my number one. Someone did it right grab.
Yeah. I used to watch it when I was growing up.
I don't know, okay, this is hard because we're kids,
But like,
because you can remember everything, so they don't have money, they don't have anything.
Right.
And then there's like the kids that aren't enjoying
yeah. My biggest fear is electronics.
Yeah.
So we put that, like, for what kids parents do, spend a lot of time watching, it's like. So for my birthday, I remember
And craft stuff too. I remember like, I used to make build forts, build forts outside, like.
When they like crafts like for Valentine's Day, and they go for like Thanksgiving.
Make crafts too.
One more minute.
Well, I mean, yeah, I said like make believe earlier, but like make believe with costume box.
Oh, yeah.
I have this box that I don't think that
My mom said, I like that.
yeah, it's all like really nice, like velvet, like shoes and stuff like that. And yeah. And I like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're right.
Oh,
Exactly. I think ridiculous. I know I forget repair, and it's fine. Yeah, right. All right, we have costume contest with the rotests.
Yeah.
You can have like story contest, like the story.
All right.
You know.
We better stop, others will run out of time. All right, who wants to go first?
Right, yeah, exactly. We'll go.
Okay, go for it.
So one of the things that I really enjoyed growing up was learning interactive activities. Like we learned about ancient Sumeria by building a ziggurat, and we wrapped my mom up in toilet paper. So learning interactive activities.
Okay.
Take them for trips, ventures, like to go see Santa at the mall.
Okay.
Teach them like about shopping while you're at the grocery store, like make errands fun.
Make errands fun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Okay, what else?
Go outdoors, build forts, go camping in the backyard.
Okay, what else? One more.
Make costumes with them. Like come up with like all various different characters and costumes that you just find in your closet or make together.
Okay, awesome. Like you had more, I suspect, but
I have one more.
okay.
It's a story contest, like who can come up with the best story in like 5 minutes.
All right, nice. Next group. Okay, go for it.
Board games or like family night games, or any board game. Gardening. Gardening is something that I used to do a lot with my mom.
Okay.
Bedtime stories.
Mm-hmm.
Family dinners or lunches, like at least once a week.
Okay.
Movie nights.
Mm-hmm.
Sports.
Mhm.
Family parties. And shopping.
Shopping is fun, isn't it?
Sometimes, depends when we're shopping.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Also, if you're under pressure, like if you're going shopping because you specifically need something for like a party or something, then I don't. Like it. But if I'm just going, I want to.
For leisure and for shoes and.
Yeah. If
Okay.
I'm just like looking, to see what I'm buying.
Cool, cool. Okay, this group. For the sake of time. Park, okay, and you can repeat anything too, and that's fine. All right, so park. Chuck E. Cheese is closed, my friend. You went bankrupt a long, long time ago. Amusement parks. Okay, but amusement parks, I think, yeah, we know what you mean. Okay. What? Did you say something? Yep, hiking is a ton of fun.
It's like cooking,
Yeah.
music, concerts, plays.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, like, I mean, like, gathering up with your family, kind of like the sport.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And the last one.
Designated for.
Designated day for family.
Yeah. And then, well, for the parents to get involved. Rather than being, we don't need to be involved, but at least support about it.
So support and get involved in kids activities, what? Okay, support plus involve in kid activities, right? Okay, what else?
Together.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So I think all these are all great lists, right? Is there any list you like or any things on the list that you think, man, that is just so cool? For me, I'm thinking about all the things that can be done.
Yes.
Because as socioeconomic status can be an issue for some folks. So designated family day is really good. The family gatherings, very, very good. And you, everybody, whether you are high or low socioeconomic status, you have to eat, right? You can eat that food with family and friends.
I like the bedtime story.
Where, right? What kind of bedtime stories are you talking about?
So for me personally, my mom, since my mom is Spanish speaking family, like she had like stories. She would sometimes read us like Bible stories, like child version of Bible stories, since she grew up in the Catholic. Or other times, or we had like a big bookshelf with our favorite books, and she would read them to us in Spanish. And then sometimes like they were both Spanish and English, so she would read the Spanish part, and then me and my sister would read the English part. So it was,
Nice.
like,
Yeah. You're just giving me an idea. I don't do that with my kids in our native Shona language. Yet my daughter has said, you gotta teach me the language.
It
So,
helps a lot. Well, they didn't do it with my little sister because at that when my little sister was like around like the age that we did it, my parents had like both full-time jobs, and my dad would work days and my mom would work nights, so we never really had time to do it. But with me and my sister, that's how we learned most of our Spanish.
nice. Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the movie with Adam Sandler, bedtime stories, but that's kind of how like when I babysit kids, like that's how I let them tell the stories because I think it's so cute just listening to like the weird things they say. So and it like gets all their imagination out before they go to bed. Yeah, it drains their energy. And like you said, it's like kind of like you don't have to have necessarily even a book.
Right,
To be able
right.
to like do that.
Yeah, ask them to tell you a story.
I like the music because you can like learn songs with them. On the upper right. Music. Number 5.
Oh, yeah. Music is so important, so good.
And you don't need anything like more than like your phone to like find a. That definitely. Yeah.
I think it's more than just about the music, because my mom, like, when she's like wake up and clean, she would always like blast this like Mexican music. And me and my sister would go out there and then we would have like so much fun cleaning and dancing, and she would like dance with us at the same time while she was cleaning.
See, my mom always knew that we were not morning people. And so she would put on this one album every time. And we knew exactly which song. There was this one really long song, it was the 3rd song on the album. And if we were not up and out of our bedrooms by the end of this song, she would come back with a wet washcloth and she would sing it under the sheets with us. And we got out of bed real quick after that.
Okay.
But like, so like there was just this one album that we knew. And so like once it started going, we were like, okay, it's time to get up, because she would blare it like super loud throughout the house so that we could not possibly sleep through it.
That's fun. Can you see how it was the connection? As you think about all the things you said or whatever this reminds you of, there's a human connection that makes that memory special for you. And so with a lot of what we are discussing, what the kids desire and need from adults in their lives are opportunities to connect and to spend quality time together. And I'm so glad that Siegel and Bryston do a really nice job of bringing that to our attention. I'll cap it here, even though I know there's a lot of thoughts, a lot of things coming up for you in this space, but for the sake of time. Give them activities and give them activities that produce positive emotions and memories. You will create strong bonds between them and set up a relationship that has a good chance of remaining solid for life. Whole brain strategy number 12, connection through conflict. Teach kids to argue with a we in mind. See through the other person's eyes. Help kids recognize other points of view. Demonstrate an awareness of your child's feelings. Remember to connect with the right and to redirect with the left. Listen to what's not being said and teach kids about nonverbal communication and attuning to others. But nonverbal communication is very, very important. Then that last point on repairing. Teach kids to make things right after a conflict. So don't just give them time out. Time out is supposed to be for you to go and think about what happened, what you said, what you did, etc. We know the importance of apologizing, and we teach our children to say they are sorry, but kids also need to realize that at times that's only the beginning. Sometimes they need to take steps in to right whatever they've done wrong. So sometimes even when they are older and they are now teens, I said sorry. Well, it doesn't look and sound or seem nonverbal communication really. Said sorry. Doesn't sound like you're very remorseful about what happened. And that was a pretty significant thing. You socked him in the eye. He has a black eye now. And you are not seemingly apologetic or remorseful about what happened. We need to think about that. So we have a harm repair process when someone has done something terrible. Part of my job at New Avenues is looking out watching out for all the equity pieces. We know that kids of color have previously been discriminated against. And so I've had kids come to me or come to one of my skills trainers and said, I got punished, but there were 5 of us doing the exact same thing. And this is a kid of color who's saying it. Well, it's not the first time this has happened. It happens all the time. I get the bad end of the stick all the time. That's an equity issue. So we have an entire board that keeps an eye out for issues pertaining to equity. And we try and advocate, especially for those kids, because we don't ever want them getting a double dose of discrimination they get in the world in our program. I've had folks say to fellow colleagues, I hate that kid so much, I never wanted to punch a kid until today. Whoa, yeah, the kid has issues, yeah, but I don't tolerate that sort of thing. That person got a disciplinary step taken towards them. You can never, ever, ever say that. So those are some of the things I coach folks and ensure don't happen in our program. So anyway, when something bad has happened, the repair process is very important. We had a kid, they wanted tarot cards to be bought for them by their caseworker. They are allowed to have their tarot cards, but they are not allowed to do readings on other kids and do that sort of thing with other kids. They are allowed to have their Ouija boards. We've had kids in the past who wanted an Ouija board. You can have your Ouija board, but you can do that stuff in your room. You can't be coming out and doing your Ouija board stuff in the milieu where the other kids are. One time it happened a long time ago, kids were doing Ouija board stuff. Kids started having nightmares, no one was sleeping, it was creepy stuff. So that's why we tell them, don't do it with other kids. So the kid with the tarot cards, they went out to the falls the other weekend and this kid hid their cards in their pocket. So during the outing, this kid was doing readings on a pier. So we needed to repair trust because this kid is generally a good kid, easy to redirect, knows what to do, does it well, but they broke trust by sneaking those cards out and doing what they were not supposed to do. So I coached the skills trainer and I said to her, go tell the kid, hey, we had this conversation before we left and you agreed to keep those cards in your room as per the contract you have, and you broke trust by not following that expectation. So I need you to think about that. And I would love for us to think about what restoring trust between us looks like. So don't solve it, put it on the kid to think about. So the kid then went to all the staff who were on the outing and apologized for being dishonest and for doing what they were not supposed to do. That was a good repair process right there. Kiddo thought about it and initiated a repair process and made a commitment to do better because I know better and I can do better. And I want to show you. Show me the money, baby. Show me the money. Reflection questions are there for you. And it's 2:41. If you like, I would love to show you the video about active listening. And this is also really just relevant for this population, 0 to 7. They have a lot of words and given a platform, they can communicate a lot. And it's very important for adults to listen.
There's next question, and sometimes it feels like it's right up on me and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's gonna stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me most is that I don't know if it's ever gonna stop.
We do have a male in the head.
It's not that I can know.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there.
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing.
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail.
See, you're not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
Yes. Ow!
Oh, come on. If you would just
Don't.
try to see things my way. So I have to keep on walking till I can't go on. We can work it out. We can work it out.
Hey, stop. Active listening with kiddos. Super, super important. Okay, my friends. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you Wednesday. Let me know if you don't drink coffee so I can bring something else for you. Should I bring decaf or real coffee since it's afternoon class? Real coffee, okay. Okay.
I mean, you know, like we all got like crazy things